Previously, Roxy goes to inspect the city as an ordinary girl, and Faye goes with her as her escort. Faye gets a mask that will allow him to look different in public. The next day, Faye goes to Roxy and thanks her for giving him a good job that provides him with food and shelter. Then he asks her to open the stone he gave her as a gift and see if it contains something inside. She breaks it and finds a beautiful shiny blue stone inside. Now, the town's hunters visit the sites where Faye killed many goblins. They are terrified of the Lichh who is responsible for that. They expect the Holy Knights to take action against the Lichh and stop the massacre. Suddenly, they lift their gaze and see Faye standing in a corpse-like mask, covering his body with a shroud. They assume that the Lichh who killed the goblins has returned to kill again and run away, terrified for their lives. Faye, hearing their screams, is quite happy with the name they gave him, Corpse. Now, he wants to kill more goblins to satisfy his hunger before the Holy Knights come to wage a battle against him. The next day, Faye is busy with his gardening duty at the Hart family's palace when Roxy tells him that she is assigning a secret mission to him. Roxy and Faye immediately get into a carriage, and she shows him their family's vineyard. Their family has been harvesting fine-grade grapes for decades. While watching the grape garden, Faye still does not understand the nature of the new mission that Roxy wants to assign him. Soon, the carriage stops in front of a house, and Lady Roxy's mother welcomes them at the gate. She looks pretty sick, and Roxy gets angry at her for leaving her bed to greet her. But Mom gets so happy to meet Faye and appreciates that he is quite a good companion for Roxy. Faye feels relieved that the mom is not an arrogant kind. Suddenly, she calls him to come closer to her and asks whether he likes Roxy. Roxy and Faye get so embarrassed at this awkward question. But Faye keeps his composure and gets on his knees to give a reply that's worthy of a princess. He promises that he will always be ready to serve Lady Roxy till the last day of his life. Lady Roxy feels awkward and runs towards her room after making an excuse that she wants to take some rest. But her mom knows that she behaves this way when she is uncomfortable with a situation. Her mom shares how she has been a sensitive baby since her childhood, but she is worried that her beloved daughter is overburdened with responsibilities after her father's death. Faye assures her that Roxy is looking after all the matters perfectly, which delights her mom. On the other hand, Roxy enters her room and looks at her cute childhood toys. A picture with her dad reminds her of the days when her dad trained her as a knight. He did not want to burden his little girl with the knight's duty, but she wanted to become a knight who cared for her people like her father. She gets sad thinking that she has not fulfilled her duties yet. On the other hand, Faye goes to the vineyard and harvests ripe grapes to sell in the market along with other workers. They offer him fresh grape juice, which tastes delicious. The man shares the secret of the rich tasting juice, as the Hart family's ancestors and villagers worked in the fields throughout the year to create this flavor. Faye is surprised that Mr. Mason also joined them in this practice. The man gets so sad talking about Roxy's father, Mr. Mason, as after him, Roxy has to look after many things alone, even though, before his death, she always joined them in the harvesting season. However, due to overburdening responsibilities, he never expected her to show up in this harvesting season, and he is quite happy that she came. Faye is surprised that Roxy comes each year to harvest along with other workers. But what he told Faye next surprised him the most, that Roxy also helped them to fend off the monsters that came down from the mountains. He explains how, during each harvesting season, kobolds show up from the hills on the north side. At the same time, Faye's stomach makes a weird sound. The man laughs as he thinks Faye is hungry after working in the field. But his gluttony skill is demanding more souls, so he needs to hunt new monsters soon. Roxy asks Faye to go back without her as she has to finish a few things. Heading back, Faye sees a strange girl whose eyes light up just the way his eyes light up after getting the gluttony skill. She mysteriously leaves the town after telling him that she is leaving kobolds for him to hunt, so Faye must return the favor one day. Faye asks his sword about the girl, but quite unexpectedly, Greed does not tell him anything. At the same time, Roxy joins him on the road, and Faye asks if she knows anything about the girl. Roxy suspects that she is from the Galian tribe, who were killed many years ago. She thinks the girl may be one of the survivors. On the way back, Faye asks Roxy if she plans to kill kobolds alone. He seems worried for her, but Roxy assures him that she is a strong holy knight, and while saying this, his grape basket falls. On the other hand, the kobolds attacked the vineyards and destroyed the crops. Then, Roxy and her knights went to the north side of the mountains to observe the kobolds. They hide and watch as many kobolds wandering. Suddenly, an entirely different kobold comes out from the bushes. As Faye's gluttony skill is starving, Greed tells him that it's a crown beast, and it's become exceptionally powerful after accumulating aggression over many years. So it's unusually strong but can satisfy his hunger for many days. Upon her return to the village, Roxy shares with the villagers that she will fight and kill the kobolds as their holy knight. But Faye knows that there were many kobolds. Besides, the crown beast is 50 times more powerful than him. But he should fight instead of Roxy, as he can never bear to see her die. That night, he reaches the place where the kobolds and crown beast reside. Greed taunts him for trying to become a hero, but he ignores it and takes out his bow and arrow. With his perfect marksman skills, he kills many kobolds one by one. His stats are filling up, and his gluttony skill is activated. However, as his gluttony skill is raised, he needs to kill more beasts to satisfy his hunger. Faye knows that the crown beast is extremely powerful. Even then, he attacks with greed, but the crown beast throws him away. He pretends to be unconscious and attacks when the beast leans on him again. This works and injures the crown beast. Afterwards, Greed asks Faye if he utilizes 10% of his total stats. That will make him powerful enough to kill the crown beast in one go. Faye feels it's necessary and allows Greed to use 10% of his stats. Soon after, Greed transforms into multi-blade armor with magical power. It successfully kills the crown beast, and Faye's injuries immediately heal due to his regeneration skill. But he is not feeling great now. It's like he is about to vomit. Greed shares that his gluttony skill has absorbed souls bigger than his capacity, which is why he is feeling sick. Faye begins shouting and throwing up to get rid of the overwhelming feeling. The next day, Roxy is surprised to see all the kobolds dead in the valley. They return home and sit at the dinner table with Mom. She tells her about the dead kobolds and expresses relief that the monsters are no longer a threat. Her mom feels that Roxy looks happier when Faye is around and asks Faye to come into her room. She requests him never to leave her daughter's side because she does not have much time to live. Thus, she wants someone to look after her. Her mother shares that her social status was lower than Roxy's father's, so he must never think poorly of himself. She adds that if he holds great respect for her in his heart, then they can be good companions. Faye becomes confused, so Mom asks him to think about it and reply later. She wants someone to look after her beloved daughter forever. As night falls, Greed reminds Faye that his time is running out, and he needs to feed himself with other monsters to satisfy his gluttony skill. Even now, his eyes have become red, so Faye puts an eye patch on and goes to the nearby pub. People talk about Holy Knight Hodo planning to kill corpse in Galia. They know that Hodo only takes the easiest tasks and is not actually a great knight for them. All the knights gather to go to Galia, and Roxy also reaches her father's grave. She tells him she is going on an adventure and wants his blessings. At the same time, Faye arrives and asks her not to go to Galia as it can be dangerous for her. But it seems that she has made up her mind, and she sets off on her way to Galia. The other knights discuss that they will eliminate their worries about Hart's family. In particular, a member of Valoric's family shares his plan with the other knights, stating that he will get rid of their worries about the corpse and Roxy. On the other hand, Faye wears the mask and decides that he will kill these heartless holy knights, as they are the cause of suffering for the people. They confront each other at the site where Faye killed the goblins. And that's the end of the 4th episode of Berserk of Gluttony. Please comment and let me know which anime recap you'd like to see next. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.